Hey, welcome back to episode 2 of Stories of Hope. This is part 2 of Amanda Nichols' story. If you haven't had a chance to check out the first part, please go back and watch that now. Also, Amanda is featured on the documentary Gateway to Hope, Overcoming Heroin, which you can find over at Amazon Prime. So with part 2, Amanda talks about the hope that she found in her life to really break the addiction and fill that void that she was searching for. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe below so that you can get notified whenever we post the next story. Also, please like, share, comment below and let us know how we're doing and if there's any other content that you would like to see. Thank you.
I got to Teen Challenge in December of 2009, 8 years ago now, and I remember driving on that campus and I remember I was completely miserable. And at this point I had no emotions. I wasn't really sad anymore. I just really stopped feeling things altogether. I remember being in the admissions office and I remember both my parents crying because it was 2 weeks before Christmas and here they are dropping me off in another state. They don't really know the people here. All my mom is going on is she knows that this is where God's directed her. And that's what she believed. And she told me that and I even thought that was crazy, you know. And I remember my parents dropping me off and they cried their eyes out and I didn't shed a tear because I was just so numb at this point. I was completely sober, had been clean for a few weeks now, but I was just broken and I was hopeless. So for the first couple weeks, I was pretty resistant to anything that was going on. But then on December 27th, there was a service and I gave my heart to the Lord that night. And I've grown up in church, so I knew everything, but just something was different. I felt the presence of God and I realized that God could have a personal relationship with me, that I could have a personal relationship where I speak to Him and He speaks to me. And I felt that presence and that love. And in my moment of, this is the worst place I've ever been in my life. I'm 23 years old and here I am at rehab and God loves me enough that He's gonna let me feel His presence. And just something broke in me that day. And then pretty soon after, I talked to a lady that worked at Teen Challenge and she was mentoring me and she asked me about my past and she just cried. She just cried with me and she showed me the love of Christ that day. And I just knew, I want this. Whatever this is, I want this life. And so in December of 2009, my life completely changed. Christ moved in and that was what I needed that whole time. That was what I filled my life with, all kinds of other things, all these drugs, and the whole time the missing link was Christ. So after He came in, He gave me a joy, even in the midst of this situation where I'm hundreds of miles away from my family and I'm around people that I don't know, but I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. And that's something that's continued for 8 years now, you know, and I know what separates me from that sinful life and that past is Christ. It's not the amount of time, it's nothing else besides Christ's presence in my life. And so the hope that I have now and the hope that I had at that moment, even just a month of not doing drugs, is just what's kept me. God's presence has continued to be real in my life. He's given me joy. I graduated Teen Challenge in December of 2010. I worked there for 3 years. I got married. I'm married to a pastor and I went to college full time and now I'm a registered nurse and I've been working for a year and I have a 9-month-old baby.